Poll has revealed more than half of Israelis approve of another attack on Gaza. That's despite widespread international condemnation of last year's offensive, which killed more than 1,300 Palestinians. As RT's Paula Sleer discovered, some Israelis think it's a price worth paying in order to eradicate Hamas once and for all.
It was always Jeff Gaffney's dream his son Yuval would follow in his footsteps. The 67-year-old paratrooper has fought in the Israeli army most of his life. Last year, his son joined him on the Gaza battlefield. Neither one of them believes it was the last time.
There isn't a kind of a magic ready-made to finish it. The only way is exactly the same way that it was done last time. Maybe deeper. That means more casualties on both sides. Maybe for a longer while. Maybe try and really, by eradicating the tunnels and getting down to all those storage of weaponry and explosives and blowing them up or whatever, kind of pulling the rug under the feet of the Hamas military.
67% of Israelis agree. A recent poll asked them what Israel should do about the ever-growing number of underground tunnels between Gaza and Egypt. Most said strike again and criticized their government for not already having done so.
We have a policy in Israel right now of allowing Hamas to run their factories, smuggle in weapons, prepare devices which can reach Tel Aviv now and beyond, and continue and continue and continue in all of these efforts, advance on the learning curve both in terms of technology and in terms of operations with an army that's being trained by Iranians, right? The question is this a proper policy?
But for Palestinians, the tunnels provide a lifeline to the outside world. Because of the Israeli siege, the only way most Gazans can get supplies is through this elaborate underground network.
These goods come to us from the tunnels, because all the border crossings are closed. We have to keep working to survive, so when they close the crossings, the only choice we have is to bring in goods from the underground tunnels. If they destroy the tunnels, we will die, because then we will have nothing.
Last week, Israel submitted a 46-page report to the United Nations. It claims its forces abided by international law, but a UN action team claims the opposite. It says the army struck civilian targets like the only operational mill in Gaza, where the remains of an aircraft-dropped bomb were found. Cole is a professional blogger who's dedicated his writings to calling for another Israeli attack into Gaza.
I think that outside of Israel, a lot of people probably don't realize how much dissatisfaction there was with the end of last year's war. I mean, the rest of it was great, but the end, it just kind of stopped very abruptly and ended too soon. There were stories going around here in January of last year that the Obama administration had asked that it end before the inauguration.
Israel and Hamas have until this Friday to submit the findings of independent investigations into their actions and report back to the UN Secretary-General. But Ban Ki-moon might very soon be dealing with another conflict on his hands. While the survey never went as far as asking whether Israelis believe another showdown between Jerusalem and Gaza is on the cards, it didn't have to. There's a growing feeling among many here that it's only a matter of time until the next war. Paula